Watches are a statement piece. They're a conversation piece. They're an accessory, especially for men. They go hand in hand with cars because a lot of watches cost as much as cars. Watches are a big element for us, something that men put a lot of attention to, right? And if you're just getting into the watch world or you're becoming interested, so many brands out there and so much product out there that it's like, where do you start? Where do you look? I created a little list that's based on like a couple of categories, a guide if you're just getting into watches so that you can have a place to look. All right, so first off, the first category is going to be fun. We're all about having fun with everything that we do. I'm going to mention 3 brands that I feel like right now are kind of like at the top of the fun category. The first one's going to be Larve. I'm not sure if I'm spelling that correctly, but they basically took the Rolex Submariner.
No, they crashed it.
They crashed it, like the crash. For us, we thought this was like a really fun take on already classic silhouette. And they've had a lot of bandwidth with this watch. We saw it at Kith. Coincidentally, we are working with a factory that works with them, and they're doing some pretty decent volume. So shout out to Larve. Alabaster Industries, I think they also have a very cool, grungy approach to the Rolex silhouette. They definitely get your attention when you see them, and I think that's one of those like statement pieces. They're not cheap, but they're not priced out of range where like most people can't have access to them. And then the third one is going to be Pascal.
Pascal.
Super cool brand. I love the way they curate it. I get ads for them all the time. A lot of value for money with the watches. You're going to get the look, especially the vintage look that's very in right now, or you're going to get it at a very reasonable price. Then we're going to go into entry level.
Explain entry level.
Entry level to me are the brands who are going to give you heritage, name, but they're at a price bracket where if you're just starting off and you don't have $30,000 to blow on a watch, this is a good entry point for you to get in and still have something that's going to feel like you have a quality piece of machine on your wrist. First one's going to be Seiko. Seiko's been around for a very long time. They have very reliable movements, and they have a little bit for everybody. They have the Grand Seiko, which is for like the more serious collector. Yeah, super top notch. They're very well known for their divers. I have a vintage diver Seiko from the 70s, but I love that watch because every time I put it on, I feel like I traveled back in time. And then Tudor, which is, for those who don't know, a sister company of Rolex.
So they're the Toyota to Lexus.
The baby brother of Rolex. They're kind of more of an entry level positioning or luxury, and they're more centered around utility.
Not really truly a luxury
Right.
brand.
These are not statement pieces. These are serious watches that are very high quality watches, but they're a little bit more low key. They're more sporty. Now there's another category to entry level. And for me, these are the entry level to luxury, but that you don't have to go and spend $20,000, $30,000 on a watch. And for that, I'm going to go vintage. When I started becoming more serious and excited about watches, because I've had watches my whole life, my first piece to go into that was 1970 something Rolex Datejust that I got on eBay. And I wasn't scared to get this on eBay because the vintage Rolexes are not replicated. And the one that I got was a very clean piece. It had a cream dial. I had so much fun with this watch because I would always match my straps to match my outfits.
Oh.
And I felt like I was wearing something that was luxury, that was like a statement piece for me because it was my first Rolex. But I also was able to play around with it so that I could have fun with it with my outfits. And at that time, that watch cost me like $2,000. Entry level, right? You're like, you don't have to think about blowing $10,000 on a watch. In that same vein, Omega. I owned that watch for a couple of years, and then eventually I sold that one off to buy a Speedmaster because I became infatuated with what the Speedmaster meant for the watch world. And then I had my Make Life Dope logo stamped on the watch. I still have that watch, and I barely wear it because it's a grail for me. That watch all in, I was also like another $2,000 into that watch. And then Cartier, obviously. Vintage is very big right now, and most of the Cartiers that are vintage are more like sleeker, smaller watches, so I know they're not for everybody. If you're not into those watches, then there's another category that we can go into, and that category is value for money. And here I have another couple of brands that you guys could consider. Christopher Ward is one of them. Their Bel Canto to me is like really the testament of giving you value for money on something that normally costs a lot of money from a lot of these other watches. And I think the watch is priced just shy of $5,000.
That's the one that go bing.
Yeah, and they have a lot of other really interesting, really cool models that are just a couple $1,000. I feel like you get so much value for money with this brand. Nomos is another brand. It's a little bit more minimalistic, and it's not for everybody, but they are giving you Swiss movements and in an affordable package. And another one is Frederick Constant. I think they make complicated watch movements affordable. You want to get into like more complicated movements, that's definitely one of the first options that I would look at for more complicated pieces. And then to wrap up, if you want to go entry level, unique and exclusive entry level, but kind of like in a lane of its own.
You're talking about Trove. The reason I like Trove though is because it's super limited.
It's definitely a conversation piece because the concepts are merging elements from well sought after watches and taken a unique approach to the watch without cutting corners. And the premise of the brand is that there will never be more than 23 iterations per piece. As the brand becomes more known, all of the pieces are meant to be collectibles and the intrinsic value is supposed to go up over time.
What's the price point?
It's a couple $1,000, but you're gonna get a proper
Real Swiss movement.
anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000.
It's exciting though. Those watches are really exciting to look at. And it's a piece that when you wear it, you feel really good about it.
Yeah, that's our list, guys. There's so many brands out there, so we just stuck to the ones that resonated the most with us. But we would love to hear from our watch guys that are in part of our culture. What brands are you looking at? What pieces from these brands are exciting you or that
And
are
why?
interesting to you, and why?
Yeah, for sure. Please interact with us. Let's talk. Let's have conversations. Let's communicate.
So yeah, if you enjoyed this piece of content, hit like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Rich Talk.